Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining our latest installment of Solutions for Success. Today, the topic is Microsoft 365 applications working together in harmony. John Zeri is going to demo for us how a number of your M365 products or entitlements can work together. Giving us a brief presentation and then a live demo of a sample business process automation application, leveraging, I believe, Forms and Power Automate and maybe SharePoint, maybe Teams, a number of these things. We'll see what he comes up with, what he's able to pull out of his hat. But really, the whole purpose is, most of our clients have these entitlements. This is not extra licensing that you require. And just to provide you with an example of how easy it is to tie some of these things together in a no or low code fashion, so not requiring developers on your team to do it, but really power users. So I will turn it over to John and let him jump right in.
Thank you, Jonathan, for introduction. I'm very excited about today's Solution for Success. Lots of good stuff is packed into your Microsoft 365 licenses, and we're going to go through a bunch of them today, and all available with any type of license that you might have with either basic, standard, premium, or enterprise licenses. So these are all good stuff. So what we are going to do today, just our agenda, a slide on Point Alliance, in case you're not familiar with us, talk about low-code, no-code development. We're going to talk about AskServiceDesk.com. So this is the service we provide, and we're going to use this project as a demo of today's to showcase the tools and products available. And then we're going to go to live demo. So a little bit about Point Alliance. We've been around since 2002. We are a Microsoft Gold partner, although the naming is changing. So we have our team is 100% Microsoft certified, and you can find more information on Point Alliance under /company profile. So make sure you visit us there and be happy to chat further if need to be. My name is John Zeri, as Jonathan mentioned. You can find me on LinkedIn or just direct email if you need to reach out to me and you have any questions. So low-code, no-code development. Again, the whole idea is that you be able to kind of put processes together or build application and do things that you need to do without any knowledge of the development or coding. And we're going to showcase that today. It is, again, it's a simple process that we created a ticketing system that are going to go through it and use a bunch of the products. But again, that's the route that Microsoft is going forward to be able that they call them citizen developers. So anybody be able to kind of put application together without being a developer. So as Service Desk, just to tell you about it, this is our support system, extension of services for our cloud customers that we provide. And the application use a bunch of different elements of Microsoft 365. So as Jonathan mentioned, we're using Forms, we're going to be using the Microsoft Power Automate, we're using Microsoft SharePoint, Microsoft List, and Teams. And even though we only have 30 minutes now, we're going to be able to demonstrate those to you. And for your information, all this be recorded and posted on our website within 24 hours. And you can also find it on our YouTube channel too, if you want to share it with your teammates or colleagues. So again, for those that are not familiar with the Forms, is a tool that easily can create servers and pools to collect customer feedback. It can be used internally, can be used externally. It is a great application, and I use it all the time, and it's a great way to kind of collect information for satisfaction surveys, or you want to get information from your team members, or it could be a vacation. So there's many purposes to the Microsoft Forms that you can think of. Then Microsoft Power Automate. Again, the whole idea of Power Automate to be able to kind of put this together, to be able to kind of create processes with the ease of use. With that will, as you can see in through a slide, boost efficiencies, enhance workflows, and automate quickly. And this has many applications to it too. So I will show you, that Microsoft has done an amazing job to create many templates for the Power Automate. Out of the box, basically, you just select which one is best suit what you're trying to do, and you can modify it from there and go forward. I think all of you are familiar with the Microsoft SharePoint that allow you to share and manage content and knowledge on application. And in this case, it's going to be the storage for our ticketing system and how we're going to manage it. And then Microsoft List. So Microsoft List is this thing of its own that, again, as the name says, a list that help you track information, organize work. But the list could be contained within the SharePoint. And again, we're going to show you how that works. And just the list make it easy because what you can do, you can actually directly access lists through your web app or mobile application. So Microsoft done a great job again to be able to kind of provide you access, different method of access to their application. And then Teams, of course, we are on this webinar using Teams. This is becoming an application that we all use every day for the meetings, for collaboration, for chat, and it is the fastest growing application from any vendor. And I think the last report from many months ago said they have 270 million active users on this. So these are not licensed users, they're active users on the Teams. So it's a fantastic application. So again, I'm excited, just jump right to the live demo and show you how that works. So again, we're using Microsoft Forms within the SharePoint, Teams, and also we're using a bit of Office 365 Outlook here for the email communication. So that's it. Let me just share my screen and go here. So again, in order to access Forms, you just go to forms.office.com. It's very easy to kind of find that. So you can always find that forms.office.com. And again, this is a form we designed for our help desk, right? So I designed this form that they call support request, that people can put name, email address, and what is the category of the issue is, a bit of description, supporting URL, and also the priority. So people can kind of, this is a field to create 7 fields, very easy, straightforward, and you can format it and put description of those things. So you can see creating form is very simple. So this is a form, same form in the how the end user will see it, right? So they're gonna submit that. So I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna do this thing, and I'm gonna use my email icon. So I want to show you that how communication works. I'm going to put a phone number and choose a category. I have an issue with Adobe, let's just say. And then you can put a supporting URL. Again, there are great tools out there. They can, you can, like you have an issue, you can paste a screenshot of those things. So you can add it if there was. And priority, you can say if it's a critical, high, normal. So we're going to say it's high, and we're just going to submit this as that. So this goes behind the scene. And as you do this thing, a ticket gets created. So as a person that generate this ticket, again, it could be internal or external, will go in here, and you can see right off the bat, I got this ticket. So the ticket ID assigned to me, dear John, we have received Adobe Acrobat Suite. Please help me with my licensing. So you can see behind the scene, this get created. So you're gonna say, okay, I create that, how this happened? So we're gonna jump into the Power Automate now. So again, to get to Power Automate, you can go to the powerautomate.com, and you go to the form. So we have a bunch of flows built here. That's what's called. And you can see under as service desk, we have a bunch of them here. So one is that when the new request comes in, right? So We have one for that. We have one when the request completed. And also we have an assignment update. So the ticket created, if the assignment of that changed to somebody else, that would be an update. And also once the ticket is completed, we have a survey. We want to make sure that see how did we do. So that automatically we create that, and this all triggered based off the different events within the SharePoint. So I'm gonna go to the Power Automate that we have here, and we're gonna edit this so you can see how that works. So again, these are straightforward and need again very little programming and so on. So we're gonna edit this. So this is the flow we have. So let me just increase my screen size here so you can see it better. So when a response is submitted, so again, the whole all this application are very smart. Okay, I don't have to. So I create a trigger, submit a new response, submitted. You can see how easy it is. It actually goes and find all the different forms I have created and I have access to. So in this case, I selected the one for answer request, support request. And you can see if I have other ones, I have a bunch of different ones I can use. So it knows. So you pick from the list. You don't have to kind of program that this and that. So this all happen behind the scene. Then once we select a form, we want to collect the information from that form. We want to get all the information that comes through it. The next thing we want to do, we want to send an email to the person that requested it to let them know that we have received the request. Again, you can see this is just a sending email from the shared mailbox that we have. We created for the Ask Service Desk. It is very easy to come from that address. Email address, we grab that information. You can see that with the forms beside it. So that's a field on the form called email address. And we create response ID. We even split the name of the person because I put John Doe. So it says, Dear John, right? If you remember being a vendor, you actually we can put a bit of finesse to it and just put, break the name so we can say, make it more personal. Request category, we grab the category from form, same idea, and some information there. The other thing that we are doing in this case, because again, with the Microsoft, the times are all captured in the central coordinated universal time, UTC. We want to convert it in our case to the Eastern time. And once we do that, we want to go and create this item in SharePoint. So in the SharePoint, as I mentioned, we do have a list behind the scene. So you can see we selected the SharePoint site we have, and it says which list name you want to use. Again, it's amazing. Like you really don't have to kind of do much, it's just selecting. And after that, this is all the fields that we have, right? And then what is the corresponding field in the forms that correspond to our field in the list? And that's the beauty of the whole thing, right? So you select the list that you have that's embedded inside the SharePoint, grab all the fields for you, and it says, no, you all have to do just match them. Let's say, okay, email is that, phone number is that, description is that, and we matching. And request at time, we convert into this. So this process runs, and based off this process, we will go to the SharePoint, and we're going to update this SharePoint site. This is our SharePoint site that we have. And again, here, this is a request we just created a moment ago, right? And it just shows on the screen. And on the side, you can see we can go to the menus directly. So support request tracker, that's a list that was embedded into the SharePoint that we're using. And so that's our list that we have, and you can see all our tickets here. So once the ticket is there, I can click on this thing and make some changes to it, right? So I can go change that to say, okay, assign to, who should we assign it to? So I'm gonna assign it to myself in that case. Again, because it's all part of the Microsoft, it knows I find John from the Azure Active Directory and bring that one up, and I can put some supporting information and so on, and I just finish that. So it is already done. So once this is created now, I'm gonna jump into our teams, right? So within the teams, so we have a team for our support group here that will have access to the, what do you call it? Access to all the tickets. So we want to make sure that people are not going to miss this thing and they get notified. So within the teams, apologize for that. had this page loaded already. And of course, just do that. And the other, so also the other thing is happening here, as I assign the ticket to myself in this case, I'll also get a notification here that said, dear John, sorry, you have been assigned a service request. So the person that moderate this process will go in, look at the ticket and say, okay, this is about Adobe. This is John should take care of this. So as the ticket got assigned to me, and I got information with a link to that service request. And if we go back to our, processes we had one for assignment update. So that's behind the scene. That if we go to that, so it runs, it's constantly monitored behind the scene, and you can see that was run about a minute ago, right? So it monitors the scene. So you don't have to worry about it. Once you create this thing, these are monitoring the activity. And once you receive that activity, what it says, okay, I see a change in the ownership of the document in the SharePoint site. And because they're all connected, they can see each other. What it does here, when it's modified, a change in a property. So what we're looking for, we say what was changed, ID trigger, and then the condition. If the condition was yes, that the value is changed, we'll send an email. If the change we detecting is not change of the owner, it's just going to do nothing. So you can put a condition to, and it can be multiple condition in place to do this. And I, of course, as part of the every demo, a bit of delay in the process of those things. And just let me also look at if there's any questions or that has been raised here as we're waiting for this page to load. Yeah, it seems like everything is running slow on my machine here right now. So again, so that's a part of the process. It runs and create the behind the scene. And as you go through this process, those things. So let's just say we go here, and it's okay. We did finish this ticket, and we're gonna change this one, the new booked in progress, or we can change the status of any time, right? So that now I go to this ticket and I can update the status. So you always can know what's happening. So if we just say, okay, this was completed, and we go from there, so that this actually we need to put some information here. I apologize about delay. I don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna mark this as a completed. And we need to also put a completion date here. That's what it's looking for, right? So high priority description, I don't need to change anything. Duration of the task. So it took about 1 hour. So that's what I need to do. And once I do that, I can mark this completed, because it's in the mandatory field is, again, you can also put a condition on this one. And you can see it wouldn't let me complete it till put the duration. And that's, again, that could be handy for ticketing system, where you want to see how fast the task was responded to. So once that's done, it runs in the behind the scene, and in a few minutes, the owner of the person that requested a ticket will get a notification to complete a survey based off the because the task is completed. Oh, no, yeah. So this comment support. Please, our team has indicated that your support request has been completed and no need to respond. And please share your experience. Then by sharing experience, you go to this page, you can, again, put my name, and I can say that was great. Thank you for quick response, and submit this. And again, you can see there was we didn't have to worry about this, and we don't want to kind of forget to kind of do a survey. So just a better customer support experience this way, to be able to kind of people submit a request. Again, this could be HR forms, right? It could be a vacation request. Somebody requests a vacation, it goes to the manager approves it, or they can send them some note. Once it's approved, the person requested the vacation, we notify that they approved, or can go to multiple levels approval, right? So my manager approve, then it goes to his manager, or this could be requesting for a new laptop or anything like that. So again, there is no limit to what you can think of those things, and they all can be set up. As I promised, I'm going to go into the templates that exist within the Power Automate, which really make life easy. And there's tons of those things. You can see here, send a Gmail attachment to a Dropbox folder. Again, the source and destination, they don't have to be even a Microsoft, right? Could be anywhere. So let's just say go on the, I think they had something for surveys, right? Send an email when a survey response submitted on survey 123. So they're really trying to expand the reach of the Power Automate way beyond just the Microsoft product. Text me when a response is created, here, and can connect with the Slack and so on. If I want to use the, let's just see if I have anything for Dynamics. Yes, start an parallel approval for document in SharePoint, complete Dynamics 365 finance operation workflow. Okay, there's a lots of those things, and they're just a great starting point. So you don't have to kind of create this from scratch, and you can do it if you want to. But again, I find that much easier to go with one of this that has the elements I need. So this is using recurrence, Office 365, Microsoft Dataverse, and Dynamics Sales Insight, and then asking you to log into those systems, and then once you have access to those systems, it'll allow you to continue and build your process. So again, lots of great connectors, and if you go to connectors as well, so lots of templates, lots of connectors here, which will make your life much easier. And this list is just growing, and there are third-party apps that also the connector exists, like a Jira, for example. Lots of organizations use Jira, so you can see the connectors for Jira that exist, and this is all related to Jira. The things you can do. When a task completed Jira, create a feed event in the time goes. Post a message in a WebEx team when an issue is created in Jira. Like again, as I mentioned, the source and destination doesn't have to be just Microsoft. There's lots of flexibility built in this. And as I mentioned earlier, this is part of your licenses. And that's why, it is important to kind of look into that, what is available outside just the mail and the SharePoint and Teams, because there's lots of great tools built into it and you can discover. That said, let me just also go back to the, any questions? Please feel free to type your question. And again, we post this one shortly online, and we'd be happy to answer any question in a later time as well. And just going back to my presentation, just a couple of notes that we would like to hear from you. Again, this event happening third Tuesday of each month. So we'd love to see you again later. We take in December off for holiday. We don't have an event for December, but again, we are announcing a new lineup of events coming up as of January again. And if you did enjoy this presentation, we would love for you to leave us a feedback. You can just scan this with your phone, the QR code, and leave us a excuse me, feedback. That said, that brings our session to conclusion. We are just a minute shy of the noon, and we are right on time. So I want to thank you for joining us today. I hope you find that the information that we provided useful. And if you need any more detailed walkthrough, we'd be happy to provide you. And that's it. Thank you and have a wonderful day.